This lady went to visit Bhadman after meeting him online, but the encounter became a nightmare. She fought desperately for her life on his bed when he tried to force himself on her. Bhadman invited his online girlfriend to his house for their first date, but to his surprise, she showed up with an uninvited friend. Not pleased to see her, he quickly asked his girlfriend who the other lady was. She introduced them both, but it was obvious that neither of them was happy about the other's presence. He happily guides his girlfriend to the couch, and as they sit, he immediately starts complimenting her appearance, admiration burning in his eyes. They connected on a popular dating app and had been talking for 3 weeks. Feeling a strong bond, Bhadman suggested having their first date at his home. He also planned to have some private time with her, so keeping that in mind, he calmly asked why she had brought a friend along. The lady explained that since it was their first date at his place, she had brought her friend along for safety, emphasizing the risks of visiting a stranger at home. Caution is never weakness, it's wisdom when stepping into the unknown. He reassures the lady that she is safe in his home and offers her a drink, but she politely declines, explaining that she doesn't consume alcohol. He then brings up their earlier chats before the visit, where she had mentioned that she wasn't shy and would freely hug and kiss him when she came to his house. He then accuses the lady of being shy and, to prove she isn't, dares her to go ahead and give him the kiss she had promised in their earlier chat. As they laugh and revisit their past flirty messages, the lady's friend glares at them, clearly disgusted. Bhadman asks for the promised kiss, and as they lean in, the friend suddenly interrupts and swiftly pulls the lady aside to talk to her privately. She quickly reminds the lady that she had promised not to engage in any sexual activity with Bhadman before coming to his house. Unexpectedly, the lady refuses to keep her earlier promises and yells at her friend, blaming her for embarrassing her in front of her boyfriend. Bhadman approaches to soothe the situation, while the two ladies keep shouting at one another. His girlfriend orders the lady to leave the house, and as they continue yelling at each other, Bhadman carefully guides her out of the room. As they leave, the friend is shocked by Bhadman's girlfriend's reaction to her carrying out the very task she had come along to do. Bhadman leads his girlfriend into his room, while she continues to vent and yell in frustration over her encounter with her friend. She tells Bhadman how she has gone along with the same friend to meet her own online friends before and never embarrassed her the way she just did. She goes on to claim that she senses jealousy in her friend, suspecting that her friend is unhappy that she has found a man as wealthy and good-looking as Bhadman. Bhadman tries to calm her with gentle words and tells her that he is pleased with the encounter, as it has given them a chance to be away from her friend's watchful eyes. He describes her friend as a disruption to their romance and encourages her to release her anger and turn her attention back to their date. He then reminds her of the kiss they were about to share and leans in, ready to receive it, but to his shock, she tells him she has lost interest in romance. Desire isn't always constant. Sometimes hearts change before moments are even seized. He tries to persuade her, but she instantly becomes furious, explaining that the entire encounter with her friend has ruined her mood. Unwilling to give up, Bhadman leans in for a kiss, and when she resists, he angrily flares up and pulls her onto the bed. In a split second, the man she thought was a gentleman worth trusting transforms into someone about to force himself on her. She pleads with him to stop, explaining that she isn't in the mood and doesn't want to scream, fearing her friend would mock her. Worried she might scream, Bhadman presses a pillow against her face to keep her quiet while removing his clothes, unaware that he is cutting off her airflow. He sees that the lady has gone completely still and pulls the pillow away, only to be horrified to discover she is lifeless. Sometimes, moments meant for passion can turn into tragedy in the blink of an eye. In his pursuit of illicit pleasure, Bhadman has committed the grave crime of murder for the sake of intimacy. Unchecked lust can destroy not only others, but the man who gives into it. Aware of the gravity of his crime, he is overcome with grief, weeping uncontrollably at the horrific situation he has created. The lady's friend stays in the sitting room, angrily and impatiently waiting for her friend to return so they can leave the house together. As she waits, she vents her frustration over her friend's actions, saying she never expected her to compromise her dignity just to date a wealthy man. She feels her friend should have restrained herself and avoided intimacy with Bhadman on their first date, knowing he could misuse her trust if she gave in so easily. Self-control is the first step in protecting your heart from those who value pleasure over respect. Wisdom lies in restraint. Giving yourself too soon can lead to regret and betrayal. Unaware that her friend, whom she assumes is inside engaging in intimacy with Bhadman, is actually dead, she continues complaining, insisting she won't leave the house without her. Meanwhile, Bhadman does everything he can to bring the lady back to life, but ultimately faces the grim reality that she is gone. He sits at the edge of his bed, drowning in regret over his actions and racking his mind for a way to escape the mess he has created. He is also unwilling to turn himself in, knowing that the 2 charges against him could result in either life imprisonment or the death penalty. He starts thinking of a way to eliminate the lady's body without being linked to the crime, only to suddenly recall that her friend is still in the sitting room. He chooses to confront her friend with a lie, claiming his girlfriend sent him to order her out of the house and that he has come to ensure she leaves. He slowly gets off the bed, straightens the sheets, and positions the lady to look as though she's asleep, just in case her friend asks why she didn't come out to deliver the message herself. Deception may hide the truth for a moment, but it can never erase the consequences of one's actions. He composes himself as though nothing happened and walks into the sitting room to send the friend away as planned. He sits next to her and claims that his girlfriend sent him to tell her to leave, but she immediately snaps back, insisting she won't leave. She tells him she doesn't believe her friend would ask her to leave over their little misunderstanding and reminds him that her duty is to protect her. She then tells him that she will only leave when her friend comes to send her out personally, so she can be sure her friend truly wants her to go. Realizing the lady refuses to follow the plan, Bhadman loses his temper, reminding her that he owns the house and still has the right to send her away even without her friend. The lady stands firm, refusing to leave the house without seeing her friend, and tells him that even when her friend arrives, they will leave together, as she cannot trust him alone with her. Trust is not given lightly. It is the reward of integrity and faithfulness. Realizing that the lady's stubbornness could ruin his plan to dispose of the body and land him in jail, he threatens to hit her if she doesn't leave his house. Unmoved by the threat, the lady tells him she will go into the bedroom to fetch her friend so they can leave, and as she stands, he quickly tries to calm her down. He lies, claiming that her friend is fast asleep, but the lady sees through it, pointing out that it's impossible since they had just quarreled, and she walks toward the bedroom to fetch her. She reaches the bed and tries to wake her friend, unaware that she is already dead, while Bhadman watches, realizing his secret has been exposed. He sits on the bed while the lady panics and accuses him of murdering her friend, and in a desperate attempt to evade the law, he slowly picks up a pillow and suddenly presses it over her face. In a desperate bid to avoid punishment for his earlier crime, Bhadman ends up committing the same horrific act once more. This is a lesson to everyone. Unchecked desire leads to destruction. Giving in to sexual urges without restraints can result in irreversible consequences. Forcing intimacy on someone violates trust, morality, and the law. Accountability is unavoidable. Running from responsibility often leads to more harm and legal repercussions. Always listen to your friend when they sense danger about your new partner. Please share and comment where you are watching from.